Do you want me to say it again? Do you want me to say it again? All right, cool. Let's do it. If you don't take this competition serious, take your ass home. If you don't want to play football, someone else will. I done told you before. People don't want to listen. Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea. Final score in Philly. Flamengo 3, Chelsea 1. And boy, if I sit here and say Chelsea lost the game, that would be an understatement to what I just watched. Chelsea got absolutely worked, humiliated, played off the park. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. Chelsea got the Brazilian trabalho, yeah? They got worked. They got the work. That's the word in Portuguese, by the way. Work in Portuguese, trabalho. They got the trabalho. Unbelievable scenes, man. Unbelievable scenes. I've been telling people this Chelsea side does not fill me with confidence. When I watch them as a neutral, I'm just never convinced. The Conference League final, wasn't convinced. The way they qualified for Champions League football on the last match day of the season, the way they even scored, wasn't convinced. And this Chelsea side is meant to go into the Champions League season, 25-26, and do what exactly? Nah, I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. Can he do it in the Premier League? Forget that. That sentence, that question has got to die now. Can he do it against South American teams? That's the new question. That's what you should be asking any player that comes or that you discover. Any player that comes somewhere that's new, ask the question, can he do it against South American teams? Because all of this running and all of this physicality and the physicality of the Premier League and this and the way, the intensity of the Premier League, all of these myths have got to die now. Because once it's hot, yeah, and running doesn't help you as much as when it's cold, when it's time to play football, that's when you see the real teams on top. And today, we saw the real team on top. Today, we saw the real team on top. And to be fair to Chelsea, yes, they got the goal early into the game. Again, the way they scored, a very fortunate chance that came out of nowhere. The defender gets a touch on the ball, it ricochets off Neto's chest, then onto the defender again, then onto Neto's chest again. Excuse me. And all of a sudden, Neto was free on goal. I don't want to say it was a lucky goal, but it was, yeah, the goal just happened. It wasn't like Chelsea actively orchestrated an action to finalize that action with a goal. It wasn't that. It just wasn't that. Whereas Flamengo, first things first, credit to Felipe Luis, ex-Chelsea player, of course, Chelsea fans, you'll know him well. Jorginho, ex-Chelsea player, he played for Chelsea 10 minutes ago. Yes, he had that stint at Arsenal, but yeah. And these guys were bopping, they were jugging, they were playing football. They were playing some silky football. That midfielder, who's the captain? Is it Gerson? What a player. What a player. And you can't say that it's not deserved because the way Flamengo were knocking on the door, time after time after time after time. By the time they got the equalizer, I was like, you know what? It's about time, man. It's about time because it's deserved. They've been knocking on the door, putting on pressure. And at one point, Chelsea just folded. They completely folded. Honestly, man, credit to Flamengo. Credit to Flamengo. That was a really standout performance. That was amazing. Chelsea, on the other hand, lots of questions have to be asked. Starting with the goalkeeper. My goodness. Sanchez. I mean, you qualified for Champions League. Yes, perfect. Congratulations. But Chelsea fans, you cannot tell me that you're going into the Champions League season with this guy at the back. You can't tell me that you're confident with him at the back. I tell you what, Chelsea execs, pick up the phone. Call AC Milan back. Call AC Milan back. Tell them that you are going to pay that extra 4 million that you didn't want to pay, which ultimately resulted in the move from Mike Mignon being broken down from AC Milan. Call them back. Tell them that you're paying that 4 million. Tell them you're paying 5. That defense, I mean, shaky, extremely shaky. I've been telling people I'm not a fan of this new gimmick that Maresca has tried with Chelsea, where Reece James is playing as a right back, but he's inverting because, you know, he can float and ball in behind the defence from midfield position. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it, because look at the way they got worked today. The midfield, I can't even say Flamengo's midfield was outrunning Chelsea, because it wasn't about running today. Today, it was about playing football. And this is where 9 times out of 10, when it's time to play football, when it's not time to run, when it's time to put the physical attributes aside and use this and use your feet, not many people come out on top. And today, there's only one team that came out on top, and that was Flamengo. That midfield today got worked by Gerson, Jorginho, and I have to take a quick look, people. Apologies. I don't know the formation by heart. That midfield today got worked by Gerson, Jorginho, Pulgar, and De Arrascaeta, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Who knows these guys? Not many. Well, to be fair, De Arrascaeta, I've been following him for a long time with Uruguay and stuff. So, but anyway, that's a story for another day. But look at that Chelsea midfield, costing millions and millions of pounds. All of that physicality, all of that running ability, all of that, Premier League intensity, nothing against Brazilian technique today. Didn't work. The front line, don't get me started. I've been talking to people about Neto. I think he's a box standard winger. Head down the byline, cross it in, and it stops there. It stops there. Decision making isn't the best. Liam Delap today, Liam Delap, I don't know. First start for Chelsea, it wasn't the best. Let's just say that, to be nice. You know, with time, maybe something can improve, but who knows? Who was on the right-hand side? I know left was Neto. Who was on the right-hand side? 1 second, I have to check again. Who was it? It was Palmer. See, there you go. I didn't even know he was playing. Anonymous today. Anonymous. Honestly, Chelsea's front line needs to be bolstered, man. It needs to be bolstered. Again, Chelsea execs, get on the phone. Put in phone calls for Garnacho. Put in phone calls for Bino Gittins. Pick up your phones and make these calls, man, because your front line needs a desperate addition, or 2, or 3. And then you have Jackson coming on, being on foolishness, absolute foolishness, getting himself sent off in a space of what, a month? Completely losing his head. Completely. Honestly, man, wow, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And I'll tell you what, Flamengo, congratulations. This is why I said I love the FIFA Club World Cup, because now we're seeing who the real ballers are. Because very often we sit in our bubble here in the UK and we watch the Premier League only. Sometimes when we're bothered, we watch the Champions League. And we think we have the best of the best. Listen, everybody's a gangster till a real gangster walk into the room. Everybody's jogging until real joggers walk into the room. Everyone is a jogador until real jogadores walk into the room. That's what I learned today. That's what I learned today. And listen, I know I'm wearing a Santos shirt, you know, but either way, I'm representing Brazilian football today. Honestly, man, the surprises we keep seeing, South American football, Brazilian football to be more precise, is giving us joy. Giving us a lot of joy. And it's back to the drawing board for Chelsea, man. back to the drawing board, because that win against LAFC, I'll tell you what, it looked straightforward, but it wasn't. Again, another unconvincing win. Another unconvincing win. Credit to Felipe Luis, credit to Flamengo, and I think that puts them through to the last 16, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it should do. It should do. And Chelsea's last game is against Esperance, which, hey, at this point, you never know, but they should be able to win that. Should be able to win that. But Flamengo, honestly, man, you've done the Lord's work today. Done the Lord's work. Substitutions for Chelsea didn't really do much. Madueke, okay. Guiyu came on as well. Okay. Like, it was just so uninspiring from Chelsea. So uninspiring. And I'll tell you what, with that type of football, the way they playing, they're not going to get far in this new league format, because you're going to come up against some serious teams that can cause you some serious problems. But listen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, people. It is road to 20K. And I will see you tomorrow, because I'll be watching the game between Bayern Munich and Boca Juniors. But the reaction will only come tomorrow morning. So keep your eyes locked on my channel. Road to 20K. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.